So for 4 cups of basil, I've got 2 cloves of garlic. For a regular recipe, it's usually 2 cups of basil, 1.5 to 2 cups, and 1 clove of garlic. But I'm doubling it because I want to freeze a couple cups for the winter. So I'm going to peel and trim. And if you hear that, that's my microwave because I'm boiling a small cup of hot water and I'm going to blanch these garlic cloves. So let me get my water. All right, with this boiling water, I'm placing my 2 cloves of garlic in. I'm going to let them blanch for about 15 minutes. What this does is it softens the garlic clove and takes some of the bitterness and the bite out of it and helps the pesto to be a lot more creamy. Went out to the garden and harvested what we could, which is a lot, and actually this is just the tip of the iceberg. So you can see that some of our basil started to flower. This isn't good. You want to try and trim this before that happens. It does affect the basil flavor a little bit, having it be a little bit more bitter and sharp. But we have so much basil out there, we just can't even keep up on it. So with our basil, what we're gonna do is trim off our leaves and throw away the stems. And I'm looking for 4 cups of leaves. I'm gonna rinse these and get these in a measuring cup. Okay, I'm gonna rinse these leaves, but I wanna show you, pesto recipes call for firm, a packed cup. And what does that mean? You don't wanna jam these leaves in here too hard, right? You want to kind of fluff it a little bit, but still have them kind of be a little bit compact, but not smushed down. And you can see here, there's 4 cups, so that's 4 cups of leaves. It's tight, but it's not packed, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna rinse these out and then make our pesto, which goes really fast in a food processor, although you can use a mortar and pestle, if you'd like, if you wanna get some arm muscles going. But we're gonna go fast because we have a lot of pesto to make because the amount of basil we have in our garden is crazy. Okay, we have our food processor going. Our garlic has been blanched. And if you want, I think I do, I'm just going to roughly chop it. Not even, it's just like a rough, kind of break it down a little bit. So to the garlic, I'm adding 6 tablespoons of pine nuts. If you like a coarser, nuttier textured tree pesto, you could go up to about 1/2 cup if you want. Pine nuts are pricey, and I think too, it could overpower your basil flavor. So 2 cups of basil would be 3 tablespoons. Because we're doubling it, we've got 4 cups of basil leaves. We've got 6 tablespoons. I'm gonna add like 1/8 of a cup of kosher, an eighth of a teaspoon, like a pinch of kosher salt. Sorry, I must not have had my coffee today. Pulse this just a bit. And what you're doing, before you get the basil in, I really want to get that garlic ground down. All right, now I'm going to add my basil leaves. We're going to pulse this until we get a paste going. And you want to just hit it versus going full, because it'll bring the whole leaves down to the bottom of the blades. See? Okay, now give it a little bit. All right, let's show you what we have here. See, we have a paste, but we're not ready yet. What I like to do before we add the oil is scrape the sides down. You're gonna need a lot of olive oil for this because pesto is all about the basil and the olive oil. So for this amount, you need a cup of olive oil. Extra virgin, preferably. And you want to do this while the food processor is going. So I'm going to use this little gadget here that will slowly distribute. I poured in half, and I'm pausing and I'm scraping the sides again. After you scrape the sides, I need to add some cheese. Now it's up to you what you want to use. You can use a Parmigiano Reggiano or a Pecorino Romano. Pecorino's got a little bit more of a kick to it, whereas the Parmigiano Reggiano is a little bit more nuttier and milder. This is in my opinion. And we're looking for about half a cup because we've doubled it. The normal amount would be a quarter cup. So I'm going to add that in. All right, so that's our half a cup. We went with just a Parmigiano Reggiano today. We're gonna close things up. Now remember, we've got the rest of our olive oil. So I poured in a half a cup while going. Now I'm gonna process again with the other half cup with the cheese. And there you have it. You have pesto, my friend, fresh from your garden. Now I'm gonna do a couple things. One, I'm going to set aside about a half a cup for dinner tonight. And then I'm going to store the rest to freeze for the winter, and I'll show you how. So it's up to you how you want to divide up your pesto, because you know how you're going to use it throughout the winter. I'm going to do a variety of like half cup containers and 1 cup containers. Then I'm also going to do an ice cube tray. Sometimes it's nice to throw some pesto in like an omelet. You just need a tablespoon. This is a half cup container, and then what you do is you level it off, and then it's important, whether you're storing it in the freezer or in the fridge, to ladle and drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top like that. Clean your edge, tap it off. Then, don't forget to label and date. That's it. You too can have pesto all year. So thanks for joining me on Fridays with Flora. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, check out the blog and all the good things that are happening at the homestead. You can stay up on all the good stuff. That was my cat. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.